What is up, y'all? It is Redbeard Ben back with another episode of Skybounds. And I know I made a promise last time, but I'm going to follow through on it. Today, we're going to make some auto crafting machines. if you look behind me, I redid our farms. I should have everything we need in our inventory, so let's just jump right in. After looking at our crafting menu, the two things that seemed like were going to be our best bet for today that we can do are going to be roast pig and flesh pies. They sell for the most, and we're able to easily get them between our mining farms and our grinding farm. So roast pig requires apple and pork chop, which both come from the grinder, the mob system. And then flesh pie comes from rotten flesh and bricks. So the bricks will come from our mining robots, and the rotten flesh will come from our mob grinder. So if we look over here, I actually redid our mob grinder just to kind of condense it a little bit, and there has room to grow. So that's just going to be a little easier. I also added a second grinding robot, which isn't upgraded at all, so we'll have to do that. But this way I have all 6 mob types getting killed instead of just 3 at a time. But right here is where we're going to put our crafting robots, because I put them right here where it splits the 2 chunks, so that if we stand like right here, it'll keep everything going at once, and that way they're close enough that the recipes that require stuff from the mob system and from the mining system, the auto chests can be in the 2 different chunks and still connect. Right, so I think this one I have left here, so eventually we'll have this one be the nether bones, but we don't have access to bones on our island right now, so we're going to start with the apples and the pork chop. Since both of those come from here, we're going to use auto chests to collect them. So on the left side, what we're going to want to do is put down, well, first let's put down a crafting robot. Let's put down this one. So that's going to be the first crafting robot. And then our other crafting robot for the flesh pies is just going to be over here. I don't know why they're only facing that direction, but they are. And then what we're going to want to do next is we're going to want to put, actually I already messed this up. We have to have something to direct the hoppers at, right? So we're going to go boom, boom, and those are going to be the 2 hoppers that directly feed the robot. So now when we put our crafting robot back down, the hoppers will be in there eventually. We're going to have to upgrade it to get them to take 2 hoppers. But for now, this is how we're going to do it to get the hoppers going in there. Next up, after we get those hoppers placed down, we're going to go back and we're going to just focus on the roast pig one for now. This side's going to be the apples. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some extra storage, and then we're going to do a hopper and the crafting or the auto chest. And in the auto chest, we're going to need to grab some apples. Just one should be fine for now, and we're going to put them in here. If you shift right click, you can pick what it's going to collect. And this one we only want collecting apples, which means over here we want to remove the apple collections from this one so that it only goes to the other one. And we'll, for the sake of doing this for now, we'll just take these apples with us and put them in this chest and see if they go into there. I don't think they will yet. We got to configure it first. So that's simple. That side's easy. That's all that's going to take for the apples. The roast or the pork chop one, on the other hand, has to be cooked. So that's going to be a little more involved. Again, we're going to want the buffer space storage. And we're going to try to do it so that we have 2 furnaces going. We're going to grab the furnace and put them down. Boom, boom. And then we're going to feed fuel from the back of the furnace, of course. And then from the top, we're going to have to finagle this a little bit. So what we're going to want to do is to get them to be feeding both. We actually want to angle this one at this log and this log so that the hoppers below will pull from it, but they won't deposit downward. So it has to be taken out of. And then on top of that one is where we're going to put another, on top of this one is where we're going to want the auto chest right here. Boom. And then we need to get the pork chops out of there to configure this one. If we go right here, we'll take the pork chops and we're going to undo the pork chops here, so it's not going to be collecting the pork chops anymore. And then if we can reach this up here, can we reach that? Ugh, no. Let's do this way then. This, now we want to configure it so that one's going to collect the pork chops, and then we'll just put these in here for now. And if you look, they should end up in both furnaces. Yep, so that is working as well. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is buy another hopper. So if we go to /shop, we can just buy the hoppers. They're a little pricey, but you got to spend money to make money, you feel? So these ones are going to be the fuel hoppers in the back of it here. And we need to get up there so we can place the chests down. But just to keep the storage abundant, we're going to actually do it 2 separate ones and fill them with, we're going to go with, we'll go with wood for now. So if we go to our PV2, I already have some bought, some wood bought. So we can take these wood and we'll use oak in this one. And we will use acacia in this one. So now we're actually ready. This should be good to go. We just got to get back up there and configure the robot and upgrade him some. So if we go right click on the robot and we go to settings, now we're at our settings. So the ones we want are going to be this north hopper. That's going to be, I don't know that the priority matters. The north hopper is going to be the pork chops. The south hopper is going to be the apples. And we want to make sure this is we only actually want it to be making the roast pig for now. Maybe we'll add a second one to it from the other sides, but for now, all we want is the roast pig. Now what we're going to want to do is upgrade him. So we're going to want to update the crafting rate. Well, these ones are cheap, so as long as they're under, we'll do the 200 ones. Hopper transfer quantity, we'll transfer more than that. Amount of hoppers, we actually want to be 2. Storage capacity doesn't really matter. We have backup storage. And then crafting quantity, we want this to be way up so that it's making more. That's probably more than enough for now. Until we get more pig spawners, this isn't going to be the fastest thing in the world. Or we don't need it. Until we get more pig spawners, we don't need to upgrade him to being too fast because it just won't be able to keep up. We don't get enough apples and pork chops to make it worth having this go super, super fast. But do we have stuff ready to go. So once the timer is set, we should have it making stuff already, unless we need to actually introduce. Just put 1 pork chop in there so he knows he wants that, and then 1 apple in there so he knows he wants that as well. Boom. Put this back in, the pork chops back in here, and then he should be collecting them, hopefully. Maybe if we go back to settings and actually set those in there, maybe now it'll start. Maybe not. How do you? Oh, we want to update the hopper transfer rate as well, probably. And then will we start getting them? Now we're getting them, and he just made some. And boom, we have our first roast pig. How did that use? Okay. So now we have them stored, and now he's making them, and as this goes, so will this. So that's 1 down. Actually, we can change the name as well if we want. We'll change the name to, we will go with roast pig. Seems pretty straightforward. I think there's a way to change the color too, but I'm not exactly sure how. So for now, we're just going to call that good. That is 1 down. Roast pig being made automatically, and we need to fill the other fuel chest. And we have our finished product in action. So we have the chunk boundaries up just so we can see that both the auto chests for this one have to be in the same, whoops, I didn't mean to punch that, the same chunk as the mob system. But I went ahead and filled the fuel chest for the furnaces, so this is fully operational and working on its own. And if we come in here, we can sell. We've already made 14 since we started. If we do /sell, we find that we already made 78,000 just like that. That was enough to recoup 1.5 hoppers. But, you know, it's a process. It takes time, right? So the next one that we want to work on is going to be flesh pies. And this one's going to be a little different because we have to have one of the auto chests in this chunk to collect the zombie flesh. I don't know why I'm struggling so much to get up here. So let's go ahead and get started working on that one. Oh my goodness, I'm just making a staircase. So for this one, we want to make the extra storage room over here. And then this has already gotten over into this chunk, so we're going to do hopper here, auto chest on top of that, and then we're going to go down and set that one to be rotten flesh. So let me grab the rotten flesh out of here, and then if we come back and go up there, we can shift right click on that auto chest and put the rotten flesh in there. So now it will automatically collect the rotten flesh. And then we want to, on the other side, for now, while we are a little low on auto chests, we're just going to use regular chests over here until we can get more auto chests. So for now, we're going to manually enter the brick. But if we go back up there and we will edit the... Actually, let me grab some bricks out of here so we can set it up. And then if we go back up, we're going to work on this side now. So I can just throw all of the bricks in this one, which eventually we'll add an auto chest onto here when we have enough, like I said before. But for now, we're going to have to do it manually because we have one auto chest left, and we need something to collect our other resources from the mines, which we need to build next. But we will come in here, we will check on our settings. This one we want to be making, oh, I put a mining robot down, whoops. That's not what we want there. We want the crafting robot here. Now if we go to settings, we want this one to be making the flesh pies. Oh, we have to remove the rest first, my bad. We want this one making flesh pies. So we are going to left click to add that hopper. And we actually have to upgrade it first so that we can have 2 hoppers, which is what we want that one. Now if we go back to settings, we can add this other hopper. So now it's going to be taking from both sides. And if we go back to upgrades, we kind of want the same upgrades as before. We want to upgrade the hopper transfer rate. We want to upgrade the crafting quantity. We want to upgrade the crafting rate, of course. Hopper transfer quantity, that one's not as important, but we'll upgrade it too just because we have the funds. And then storage capacity we'll leave alone because we have the 2 buffer storages. So this one should actually be complete now as well, unless it didn't. Oh, so it's focusing on taking... It just focused on grabbing all the rotten flesh first. So I actually want to change that priority. Let's change it so that this is priority 1 and this is priority 2. And we should have some flesh pies ready to go. Boom, we made 15 already. If we go to /sell hand, just like that, another $48,000. So that is 2 full crafting stations ready to go. We're going to move these bricks over here just so that it's fully stocked, so that as it collects, because the slower one for that one is the zombie flesh. We just don't have very many rotten or zombie spawners. That's another thing that we're kind of need more money to be able to upgrade. So we're going to add both of these into the chests. And it is going to do its thing. That is 2 full crafting stations done and ready to go. Let's just admire our work. Could look a little less crowded, I suppose, but I kind of like the compactness. It only sticks out a little bit on both sides. That one we could make more compact. I just stuck it out that way for now because it's easier to jump up there and put things in it. But now we are automatically making roast pig and flesh pie, so that's pretty good. The other crafting recipes we'd be able to do it with, but it would have to be a more manual entry, is going to be mashed potatoes, which I'll probably set up off camera. And then that one we're still waiting on stuff. And minced beef is another one we could do pretty easily. Actually, all of these we could do easily. These ones are just going to be the most beneficial. The minced beef. Or, well, mashed potatoes definitely. And yeah, probably these two are going to be the most beneficial for us. But that is that. So the next thing we're going to work on is setting up our mining robots. So I've actually upgraded both of them a little bit. The one for the bricks, we actually want to be over here. And if we put him down and we look, he has a range of 3 blocks. So 3 blocks in any direction. So if we break him, we want to watch what we do, and we want to go out from here. We want to go 1, 2, 3. He's going to sit here, 1, 2, 3. Then we actually want him to sit up a level. Or we actually want him to set up 2 levels, I believe. And let's give this a quick test. If we go back into our player vault, we have his pickaxe. And if we give that to him, we want to see if he'll mine all the way down here, just so we can see his limitations. This guy is able to mine 8 blocks every 40 seconds. So any second now, he should be able to mine a bunch, and we'll see that, okay, so he can in fact go all the way down. So we might as well leave him up on his pedestal there. But I'm gonna change the layout because this is gonna be bricks. And then we'll put the mashed potatoes here, so this will be iron. So we're just gonna section this off. We're gonna move him in between here, and then yeah, just rearrange it. So I am gonna move that, and I will be right back. Now that we have our mining robot set up, at least the basics of it set up, we can take a look at the one we have. This one, if we go to upgrades, he can do 8 blocks every 40 seconds, and then he has the distance of 3, which we already discussed, but these are really expensive upgrades. So that's all he's going to get for now. But we want to set his priorities. So his priorities are we're going to want nether quartz 1, brick 2, and then we're going to want, I'm actually going to leave it as terracotta 3 for now because I want to mine the iron manually to get the ancient runes, because that's that next quest is opening 16. And as a celebration for finishing these auto stations, I think we should go ahead and open a couple more. We don't have the full 16 yet, but we do have, I believe, 6 more, 5 more. So let's go ahead and open these up and see if we get anything good. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty. Come on, big money, no whammies, big money, no whammies. Don't let us down. What do I want? Seed sliver bricks? Seed sliver iron? Meh. 2,500 experience is poopy. Seed sliver terracotta, seed sliver iron. So just kind of average results. But fortunately, we actually want to add these seed slivers to here. So that is 3 of them off of the list. So this is our current automation system. So we can sit right here. We'll get our mine going. We'll have our mobs going, and we'll have these all crafting. So in this time that we've been talking, we've made 7 more roast pig, 13 more flesh pies. And those are both limited by the mob system and the number of spawners we have. Unfortunately, though, you have to either find the spawners in the war zone or buy them here, pigs and zombies at least, and they are not very cheap. So if we look at, are there any in here? There's actually none for sale. So that was kind of a bust. But even just a single zombie shard is going for 1.2 million. So that kind of gives you an idea of how expensive they are, given that it takes 8 shards to make a spawner. So again, those are our limitations, but bada bing, bada bang, I promised we'd do it, and we have done it. Then the last thing I wanted to do before wrapping up here was to upgrade those grinder robots, and then we will call it an episode. So let's head on over there. we have the 1 pretty well upgraded, so we'll go over his upgrades first. And this is the, nope, this is the better one right here. We have him upgraded to 4 meters so he can reach a little further. He has a grinding rate of 8, which is every 50 seconds he kills 75 attacks. And with a diamond sword without sharpness, it's probably not a whole lot of 75 attacks. I don't know. It's probably, we'll say 40 creatures. I'm not entirely sure. And then this one is not upgraded at all, actually. So he can't do anything, basically. So we're going to upgrade his attacks to, we're kind of poor right now, so we'll do 40 attacks we'll go with every 70 seconds, and then we'll keep his distance the same. So now those should both be a little bit better. The next step is going to be upgrading the swords for them. So he already has an Unbreaking 2 diamond. We need to get him maybe some smite or some sharpness, Bane of Arthropods, something along those lines, and preferably looting. But I try every time I get to 75,000 XP at this point, I just buy a diamond sword enchant, hoping for looting, and we just have no luck. But we do have another diamond sword. We might actually have another Unbreaking enchant. It's kind of a low one, but we'll give it a shot. Boom, and now this is actually Unbreaking 2, so we can put him over there. But let's quickly check and see what other diamond sword enchants we have. So we look through here, it looks like we have a Sharpness 2, but it only has a 28% success. It might be worth putting on one of them. This one's a 52 and 52 Bane of Arthropods. I don't think that's one I want to risk. 52% chance of destruction is not something I want to risk on my diamond sword because they're pretty expensive still in the game. These both are pretty decent. Sharpness 1 for 77%, and Bane of Arthropods for 69%. This one's about the same. Smite 1, that one's pretty bleh. This one's Smite 2 is 44%, but no chance of destruction, so we might as well give that one a shot. We'll put that one on the 2, see if it happens. So that works out. That one's Unbreaking 2, Smite 2, and this one, let's just go with regular. Well, let's try the Sharpness 2 first. That one failed, so then we should probably go with, we'll give him a Sharpness 1. And that one works. So now we have a Sharpness 1, Unbreaking 1, and a Smite 2, Unbreaking 2. So with those 75 attacks, we should be able to kill more mobs with that. So we'll go ahead and give them to that and make sure the Smite one, we'll make sure the Smite one's the one that kills the zombies, which is the other one. So we'll give, no, whoop. We screwed it up. We got to figure out what we want them to kill. So let's take, they should be the same now, if I remember correctly, as far as what their upgrades are. They're both at, well, this one's a little lower. Oh, heck, we'll punt another $1 million on that one. So there we go. So that one's up a little higher. And we'll make this one do, this one's the faster one. We'll give him a Smite 2 and have him do zombies and pigs. And then also chickens. And then this one we will give the Sharpness sword to. And he will do, actually, scratch that. Let's grab him back. And let's see if we can put one of these Bane of Arthropods on it. I want one that isn't going to destroy. We'll risk it with this one. It's only 16% chance of destruction, and that worked. So him we'll have doing settings. We'll have him do fox, spiders, and cows. So now those two both are set up, fully set up. We have 2 grinding robots set up, 2 crafting robots set up. My brother creeping over there. And 2 mining robots set up. So that is going to do it for this episode. We made huge stride in island automation today. That should be so helpful. We already have over almost 2 full stacks of roast pig and 21 more flesh pies. So all of that upgrades today, I know we stayed on the island. We just did island upgrades, but that should really help us advance not quickly, but faster and easier. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed, and if you didn't enjoy it, hope maybe you learned something at least. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe. I'm currently posting videos daily. Minecraft most days, going to mix in a little bit of other stuff here and there. But if you like it, you want to catch what I'm posting, go ahead and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. If you liked what you saw today, maybe tap that like button. But apart from that, you guys all take care.